There was a dismembered body found near the river. The body was severely mutilated, and its neck seemed to have a line of cut. When the body is already in the laboratory, the man starts cutting and opening the body. Then he takes out all the organs, took a sample of it. After doing an autopsy, he presented his findings to the police. He found soil containing the granite inside the nostril, mouth, and ears. There was also a trace of salt all over the body. Therefore, he claimed that she was murdered in a place where there were mounds of granite soils that could be found in cement factories. Then the body was dismembered by the sea to clean up the blood, and that the killer used a long and hard object. Then his former student suggested that because of the coastal reclamation project, there were tons of cement factories at the seafront of Kunzen. Their boss asked about the suspect. They said that she had a boyfriend, and they will look for him. The police formed a unit to look for the cement factory where the girl was murdered, while the others were looking for the victim's boyfriend. She was talking to one of the workers of a cement factory, then noticed the protest. She was interrupted by the sudden commotion. There they found the right arm of the victim that was missing. The victim's boyfriend, Byung, was questioned at the police station, but he said he was somewhere else at that time. She goes to Dr. Khan and showed him the picture of the arm that they found. He said that the killer has something to say. In the 3 locations where he dismembered the body, she searched about the construction that happened in the embankment. She discovered that environmentalists were protesting for tearing it down. They were named I Love Venus, led by Lee. Based on his book, it appears that River Kiam is the reincarnation of Venus. Therefore, and they built an embankment and cut the river into 6 pieces. It severely damaged the River Kiam. She also found the footprint of Lee where the body was found. After her presentation, she was ordered to fetch Lee. Meanwhile, Dr. Khan is waiting for her daughter, when a man approached him and gave him the folder saying it's from Lee. When he opened it, it contains pictures of her daughter being kidnapped. He tried to find the man, but he couldn't. Then his former student called, saying they got Lee, the killer. Inside the interrogation room, she told him about the book and her interpretation of why he did the crime. Lee smiled and said he was impressed and that they got the killer. On the way, he was phoned someone, but she said his daughter has already arrived last week. He goes to him, furiously asking where was his daughter. But Lee said he wants to make a deal. He asked to free him in exchange for his daughter. He said it wasn't possible because they got him his confession. They just need an evidence. When he goes out, he asked where is the instrument of the crime. Then he goes to the lab to see the evidence. He came back to his house and contemplated what he was about to do. He cut his dog. He pretends that he needs him in his office. When he is out, he starts looking for it. He found it and cleaned it with chemicals. Then he replaced the blood with his dog's blood. After tampering with the evidence, he goes to see Lee and asks him to call his daughter. Lee called her, but when he snatched the phone, it disconnected. He got angry and started hitting him. Suddenly, the phone rings. He answered it and heard her daughter saying she thinks the man wanted to kill her. After that, he asked Lee if he knew him. Lee said it wasn't important. What's important is why he killed the girl. He broke into the victim's house and saw a calling card. He met a girl and asked her if she knew Lee, but she said no. He then asked who hangs with the victim, then she said the man named Byung. Because the blood result is negative, the police only chance is the murder weapon, so they looked for it. While he's out looking for Byung, he got a call from his former student, saying the blood was from a dog. But he recognizes Byung from afar, and he was about to leave when he heard her saying their boss ordered them to bring back the murder weapon. He immediately goes to Lee's house to look for the murder weapon. He saw Lee's photo with the man who gave him the folder. Suddenly, the police arrive. He hid while they look for the murder weapon. Then they found it, then left. When they were gone, he went to the police station and paged the photo. When the policeman was helping him, he recognized them. The policeman told him that the one with the cap was the boyfriend of Soo-jin, Lee's sister. He then went to the abandoned house of Lee. She goes to Dr. Kang's house to get the autopsy report, but he wasn't there. Instead, she found the dog with a cow. Inside the abandoned house, he looks for his daughter, but instead he sees a room full of their pictures. Then, the man came back. He noticed that the door was open. He tried to talk to him, but he ran. He chased him. While he was looking for him, he was attacked by him. He asked where his daughter was, but he only kicked and beat him. The man said to follow the rules, then he left. While he lays down, he got flashback to the night where his daughter was sick. She heard her co-police talking, wondering why Lee had a scalpel. She asked the doctor if he left the room that night. He said when Dr. Khan called him. The next day, he goes to Lee asking if it was because of the trial. He said he based it on his findings. He begged him to let go of his daughter, that it was his fault. He also said that they recovered his murder weapon, so he has no chance. Lee said that he still doesn't get it and was about to leave. Before Lee could leave, he said wait. After their talk, he was greeted by his former student. She asked him why he tampered with the evidence. When she was about to arrest him, he told her that his daughter was kidnapped by Lee. If Lee's indicted, he will never see her. Out of concern, she searched his background. She discovered the case of plaintiff Lee Seon Chen and the victim Lee Soo-jin. They were Lee's father and sister. She asked her friend regarding the case. He said it was about a gang rape, and defendants were from powerful families. The witnesses were Oh Yoon-ah and Dr. Kang. She went to Lee and asks him about Dr. Kang's daughter. But instead of answering, Lee only gave his cane, the murder weapon. Dr. Kang contacted the girl from the bar. After the girl lured Byung, he packed his glass. The girl gives the semen to him and leaves. But before he could keep it, she shows up and asks him about the ball. Suddenly, the man hits her and said she was intervening his task. He went back to his lab and inserted the semen and fingerprint inside the vagina of the victim's body. When he was finished, he made his autopsy report. He looked back at the corpse and realized it. The corpse was the witness of the case he also testified in. When Oh Yoon-ah is still alive, she testified that when she saw Soo-jin, she seemed that she was having a good time with the boys. While in Dr. Kang's, he said that if the inexperienced girl engaged in forceful intercourse with multiple partners, the inside tissue would be badly damaged, but he didn't find any signs in the vagina. Because of their testimony, the defendants were found not guilty. Suddenly, Lee turned over his confession. It turns out that Dr. Khan told him to give the murder weapon to the police. So when the police test it, it will turns out positive and they will focus on it. And if they use the walking stick as evidence, he'll say that he wasn't the only one who uses the same walking stick. Even though they have his footprint at the crime scene, it can be easily rebutted as he lives only 1 kilometer away. It wasn't unusual for him to have been there. Then the chief received the call from his boss. He handed him the result of the autopsy from Dr. Khan, saying that he found semen inside the vagina and a fingerprint that he missed in his initial autopsy. They arrested Byung for the murder of Oh Yoon-ah, while they released Lee. Meanwhile, she learned from his friend that in the case of Lee Seon Chan, there were 2 autopsy reports. One was saying the body was too damaged to determine the rape, while the second stated that it was consensual. Also, all the 3 defendants were already dead. He went to Lee. He asked him where his daughter was. Lee just asked him why did he do it again, that if it was the only way. He told Lee that he did everything he asked him, and he's sorry about his sister, but Lee got angry and hit him. Lee shouted at him saying that what he did made her sister a whore. But he insisted that it was based on scientific analysis. At that time, his daughter had Gaucher's disease. He needed money. He didn't tell in his autopsy report that the body had been in the water for too long to determine if there was a rape. He keeps saying sorry, saying that his daughter had nothing to do with it. It was his fault. But Lee keeps expressing his hatred because of the people that condemned his sister. He begged him to bring back his daughter, but Lee said it's too late now. Because of the frustration, he started hitting Lee while asking for his daughter. When he was about to end his life, Lee told him to stop and he'll say it. When he got there, he was stopped by his former student, preventing him to go inside. But he was so desperate that he didn't care. Then he saw his daughter, laying in a glass box full of rose petals. He keeps saying that he's here now and they should go home. But when he was about to lift her, there was no body. He desperately tries looking for her body. When everything flashes back to him, he started losing himself. Turns out the voice of his daughter was only recorded. Lee was waiting outside. He told him to look at what he did dirty to his own daughter. He's provoking Dr. Khan to kill him. So he did. Then he said to himself that he can't forgive himself too, and shot himself.